So got to be quick. This is the original file over here, which is really very, very warm, and the new file, the reshoot, is this one, which is actually very, very cool. So what we are hoping to do is to match up this one, the new one, with the old one using color corrector, three-way. So I drag it from the effects onto the timeline, and you'll see up here, when I double click, we have color corrector, three-way, right. So I can actually make changes to this file, but I want to compare this one with this one. So what I do is I go up to Window, Arrange, go Arrange Color Correction. So I now have this file here, which is pretty difficult to read, so I go to Frame Viewer. Alright, so we still see the same frame, but this is the brilliant bit. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to say this is the current frame, no filters, okay. I want to see the next frame, so I'll go to Next Edit, which is that one. Okay, so I can now directly compare the colors on this one with that one. Okay, so I go up here to double click on this one, and I've got color correction three ways. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to make it slightly, let's change the color first of all. This is much warmer, so if we take the whites, we'll take them across to the yellow a bit. Okay, if I want to do a lot, I hold down Command and it goes much more quickly. You can see how it's going. That's far too much, isn't it? So the midtones, for example, her face, go to the midtones and do the same thing. I exaggerate a bit, but it's beginning to get there. But it's not just the color which is wrong, it's the amount of light, okay? So if I do this, I need to take the midtones down, okay? I'll take the whites down, take a bit of the brightness out of the whites, okay? You can see already that this here is quite close to that in terms of whiteness. And that is pretty much...
That's not the one you want, though, is it?
Oh, it's this one, isn't it? Okay, so I can swap. Right, okay, we need a bit more. I thought it was getting a bit easy, but my God, that's great. It usually takes much longer than this. The whites are still, they're much pinker, aren't they? Let's move up a little bit. Let's get these whites correction. No, but too much.
It's tricky to see now because you've lost the face on the example that you're using.
Yeah, okay, so what I can do is I can actually do a horizontal split. Sorry,
why do you need the one on the
horizontal split? Again, that's a bit of a problem because well, we need these, you see.
Because you need to see where it's coming from, so where it's going.
Yeah. Well, this white here is that one, isn't it? That's the one we're trying to change. So let's make it a bit darker. So you get the whites. Does take a long time, by the way. You can see that this white here now is actually quite good, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite close.
Yeah. But we don't know about the flesh tones, do we? So that's one of the slight problems here, is that she's in exactly the wrong place.
She is, isn't she? Why don't you use a different bit of footage then?
Well, that's okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get her arms. It could be. Let's have a look.
I mean, I think it's fine. I mean, what you've made it down to, as long as it's natural, because we don't need to match it in with anything.
Again, and I can move this across a little bit like that. So I still think that this is actually, the midtones are still a bit too bright. Okay, so if we wanted them to match, I can take the midtones down.
I know, you have to.
A bit, but.
See, I think each shot has got a separate white balance, so it probably doesn't have to match exactly.
Let me see, I think there's a bit too much contrast. We can drag this up a bit. No. Take the blacks down.
How do you know which circle to go to?
Well, you have blacks, mids and whites.
Oh, I see.
We can't take the blacks down anymore because there's not much detail in this shirt anyway, or the
Right.
dress, and there's not much detail in the hair, so we can't really afford to take the blacks. If you do, it just becomes, nothing there at all. So I'll reset the black completely. Yeah. Let's see what happens if you take the whites down a bit more. Just see how it looks. Horizontal split. No, I've taken it down too much now. So,
That's all right.
it looks better, doesn't it? But it's still too bright. But, there's only a certain amount that you can do. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And this one. And so on. Got to be quick.